Mark, good to see you. Today we are talking about retirement planning and tips for women because it is Women's History Month. A recent study found women are far less financially prepared for retirement compared to men. According to TransAmerica, men have more than double the retirement savings of women. There are several reasons why. Of course, the earnings gap. Women are more likely to be caregivers and they're more likely to have professional interruptions. But Mark, even if they're not working, they can contribute to an IRA. How does that work?
Well, yeah, and thank you so much for having me again, Aaron. Yeah, so what they can do is they can actually set up what's called a spousal IRA. So in this case, if they qualify, they can get the tax deduction. Either way, they can contribute. And actually, the limits for 2024, if you're over age 50, are now $8,000. So that's the maximum they could contribute. But what that allows them to do is obviously put more wood on the fire and build up their own retirement savings. The other thing they could consider doing if they qualify under the income, they could contribute also to a Roth IRA. And obviously the advantage there would be all of the gains and the growth that they would experience would be tax-free when they withdraw it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I was surprised to learn 43% of men use a financial advisor, only 34% of women do. But working with an advisor can help women for a lot of reasons. Explain how.
Well, yeah, there's a number of different reasons. And, again, we have women that are single, divorced, widowed. And I think one of the big issues that women need to take into account is they have a longer life expectancy.
Mm-hmm.
It's imperative that they do proper planning because, again, if we think about long-term care, God forbid this happens to any of us, but women, the average stay in a nursing home for women, for example, is 4.2 to 4.5 years. Whereas a man, it's almost like less than 2.5 years. So there is an added expense there. And we typically say, well, who's going to live longer? If you're a couple, it's usually the woman. Mm-hmm. So we need to build in the contingencies so that the man doesn't use up all the money to pay for health care. And then what is the woman left with? I know there was a recent statistic where it was almost approaching 40% of women over the age of 65 that were single, widowed, or divorced were living at almost poverty levels. So it's really imperative for women to become educated and understand this idea of not only accumulating wealth, but ultimately creating a plan and understanding what their threats are in retirement, whether it's inflation, taxes, long-term care, healthcare, all of those things, and basically building in those contingencies to either mitigate or eliminate those threats.
I'm glad you brought that up again, because Mark, one more stat to throw at you. 33% of women do not have a retirement strategy versus 18% of men. But having that strategy, having a financial plan can account for some of those variables. And as you mentioned, longevity, just because women are living longer.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, even Vanguard was doing studies on this, and they said, look, by using a financial advisor, not only are you enhancing your returns, but see, a lot of it is we're making sure people don't make mistakes. We've seen all the mistakes. So really that having that coach, having that consultant on your side of the fence is a valuable resource that really I think everybody's going to need to have that, but obviously you have to have a trusted relationship with that person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If somebody would like to talk this through with you, then Mark, what's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, so if anybody would like to chat further about any of these strategies or anything that comes to mind, you can get a hold of us at our phone number. It's 303-681-0113. Obviously, call, we'll schedule an appointment. It's complimentary. Or you can go to our website, mcgregorwealth.com. There is a calendar link, or they call it Calendly.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, you can actually, you'll see my schedule. You can book an appointment with me, and we can either do a Zoom call or an in-person meeting, whatever your preference is.
Super easy. Mark, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Aaron. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Okay.